This is Roger Neal with a spotlight on the Binghamton Bearcats and women's basketball. The opener played earlier today at the Event Center as the Bearcats matched up against Fairleigh Dickinson University. And it was a strong second quarter that propelled the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson to a win against the Binghamton Bearcats. They were able to outscore the Bearcats in the second quarter, a 22-10 edge, shooting over 62% from the field. The final score ended up 69-55 in favor of Fairleigh Dickinson University. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the game with Tim Hyman on the call.
It took a Herculean effort by many, and we are thrilled to welcome you inside the Event Center in Vestal, New York for the first time this season. It's Bearcats at home in the white Fairleigh Dickinson, on the road sporting the deep navy. And we are ready to go here from the Event Center. And off we go.
Taking rolls.
BU would love to see more of that from Haley Moore. Shooting below 30% from deep in her first 2 seasons as a Bearcat. She drills her first tray attempt this season. And Binghamton back on top by 2.
The answer to FDU's bucket.
The New Jersey native 2 for 2 from deep. The dead ball turnovers give you a chance to set up the defense, but it won't matter. Taylor Christian drills the tray. Personnel between last year and this year, though. Delicato absorbs the contact and hits. Can they convert the turnover? They can. Fairleigh Dickinson's bench fired up. The lead up to 10 for the Knights. Bowman, mid-range, that's good. A dozen for Bowman. Bowman cuts into the deficit. She's got 14. That matches a career best.
That they're trying to eliminate.
And now a new career best for the Bearcats sophomore. 42 points in the paint. D'Angelo adds 2 more.
Playing defense for 30 seconds makes a big difference.
And the sophomore kisses it home. 22 for Bowman. On a strong shooting night, 11 for 17 from the floor. But not a lot of Traeger bangs it home. A well-rounded effort from Fairleigh Dickinson gives them their first win of the season. So a even push from the visitors, and Fairleigh Dickinson now 1-1 in 2020.
It was really the first time we actually got to play a full 4 quarters. So this was a great learning experience. Didn't really know expectation-wise, just because a lot of them, really we only have like 5-on-5, and now we're down to 8. But up until this point, some of them weren't necessarily able to gel, and it was a lot of nerves, a lot of nervousness. And that's the youngest team that I guess ever started at a Binghamton team, so not too bad. And only having substitutions, I was more focused on making sure they were okay winded wise, making sure they can get some breaks, but only having a certain amount of players, it's hard to give people breaks at that point. We're trying to get in shape.
So once again, a big game for today. Bowman for the Bearcats, 22 points for today. The sophomore surpassed her 14-point career high when she scored 14 against Hartford last year. Also, Claire Traeger had a strong game, 11 rebounds. She had 7 against Bloomsburg last year, so in her young Bearcat career, that is a new high for her. The Bearcats had the edge on the boards overall, 37-32, and it was FDU actually being outshot by Binghamton, 44% for the Knights to Binghamton's 46%, but they took 9 more shots and again came up with a victory. So it was a win for Fairleigh Dickinson in the Bearcats opener. Next up for Binghamton, a trip on the road to Niagara University coming up on Saturday at 3. Meanwhile, the BU men will open up their season at the Event Center Saturday at 2 as they'll match up against Marist. We'll have reports again. Pre-game coverage and also our halftime and wrap-up report on Twitter and on the Bearcats Facebook page. This is a story of the Bearcats opener today at the Event Center, where it was Fairleigh Dickinson beating the BU women 69-55. I'm Roger Neal at the Event Center with Bearcats basketball wrap-up.